Alright, here we are. Got the big boy out today. Let's see what we got here. 55 pounds, 10 ounces. This is our large shop vise. It's a Reed 104.5R. Okay, you can see it's in good shape. I've owned it and been using it in the shops for a little over 30 years. Okay, this vise is pre-1940, probably right around 1938. Yeah, it's a big vise. Okay, functions really well. Like I said, this is one of our main shop vices, or the main shop vise. So we're gonna do a refurb on it. I've been wanting to do a refurb on this for quite some time, but we've been using it. You've probably seen it in many of our videos. Okay, so yeah, it's the way it is with shop equipment. I mean, it's the last one, really, the last things to get attention. But we just a couple days ago finished our Craftsman 5176. So being that this is a working vise, we're going to do a refurb on it. We're not going to make it a showpiece, okay, like some of the other items. This is actually being utilized on a daily basis. So we're going to clean it up. We're going to clean up some of the rough areas, hopefully make a set of jaws for it, because this does not have a set of jaws. It'd be nice to have a nice set of brass jaws for this. We'll probably end up cold bluing the entire unit, because again, it's being utilized. I don't want to put any paint on it, any other type of coating, like some of these other videos that I'm sure you've seen out there. I mean, they look great, but if they're showpieces, it's fine. But if it's a working piece of equipment, there's no point in that. All right, so that's it. Yeah, Reed is a Reed manufacturing out of Erie, Pennsylvania. They got a patent on this vise. Like I said, probably made in around 1938. Company's been around before 1900, the late 1800s. Company was established. So good quality equipment. This actually may be a vise that was sold by Sears or Craftsman, and made by Reed for them. Okay, because I know they had a contract with Sears or Craftsman at the time to build vices for them. So this may have been sold by Craftsman. Can't really appreciate the difference in size between 4.5 and a 3.5 until they're sitting side by side. So I've got the 4.5 sitting right next to the recently restored 3.5, and it's just like, yeah, it's like night and day. Huge difference. More than double the actual weight of the 3.5. Amazing. It like towers over the 3.5. That's it. Just wanted to give you a size comparison. Alright, let's start breaking it down. We're going to unscrew the vise. Alright, you got two holes here. Actually, you got one hole. Got two holes, but one has a fitting in it. This is a set screw for the collar. The other hole is for lubrication. Okay, so take the set screw out. Got a needle end on it to hold the collar in place. So there's a collar here. We'll just use a tap it. I call it a tap it. Really a punch. I'm calling it a tap it because I'm tapping it. Pretty bad joke, right? Alright, that loosened up a bit. Alright, there's the two pieces. So there's a big thrust washer in here. That's it. Put that aside. Take a look in here. It's fairly clean. This is from a recent, this green paint is from a recent refurb, side cutters. With the paint that's on here, the silver paint is on there at least, as long as I've owned it, at least 30 years, so, and probably a whole hell of a lot longer, to be honest with you. Okay. Now we're going to set that aside for now. Set the thrush washer aside, and the collar, the set screw. And then we'll take the female end of the vise. I call it the female end because it's the end that receives. Okay. It's the only reason why I'm calling it that. Alright, so what we've got here is we've got the receiver, just like on many other vices of this type. Just like the 5176 Craftsman I did the other day. Alright, so that's in there. That receives the screw that pulls the jaws, the vise, the two halves together. Okay, so this one's set up a little bit differently. It's got a set pin. Okay, first what you have to do is you got to loosen up the screw here. It's like a set screw. Put that aside. Now we've got the pin here, okay, or dowel, that's actually keeping the collar, the receiving collar, from moving backwards. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to bang this out. Okay, you can do that. There's access from the bottom. Okay, so there it is. So what we're going to take is we're going to take this, tap it again, punch, and just knock that out. So, you can see that came right out. Set that aside, and now we should be able to easily remove. Here, I'll show you this side first. You can see how that's out. Now we should be able to easily remove the collar. Should be able to just tap it out. Sometimes they just fall out, but I doubt it will, only because of the amount of grease and residue. Let's just tap on it. Yeah, it's moving pretty easy. It's snug though. Yeah. We'll get that, tap it back in there. There you go. Came right out. This is directional, so you want to make sure this was facing forward where it's notched out. Okay. So, oh, what does this say? Ooh, read. Look at that. Read. Very cool. Alright. We got the big vise apart. Got a total of 11 parts. Okay. We took the handle off. We cut one of the ball ends off. We're going to clean that up. Clean up the handle. It's very straight, so we're going to clean up the handle. We're going to get another ball. And ball end, we'll use a like an Allen set screw to put that on. That'd be pretty nice. And yeah, so that's it. End of part 1.